We are going live and we are live on Facebook. We're letting the things set up. And my 84th mom is here while things set up here. And I'm so, like, just give me a second. It's just going to all, yeah. And we're ready. Hi, good morning, everybody, and good evening from wherever we are joining. We are here with my 84th mom. Can you believe that? I know that the first 75 went very fast continuously, and now very carefully I'm coming one by one, because somehow I also feel that the minute I reach 100 there would be an emotional withdrawal for me, but also that there are some very important moms who need to come in the book, so I'm taking it very slowly, and that's how I've reached a beautiful mom today. Carla is here to join us. Welcome, Carla, to the book, and I'm very excited to hear your story. Please introduce yourself, because I always say moms who live the story tell their story the best. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, hi everyone. My name is Carla Catalán Day. I'm living currently in the United States on the eastern seaboard. Well, not really on the ocean, but my state does border the Atlantic Ocean, which I love the beach and I love the mountains. And I like to say there's two parts of my life. The one before I was a mom, and then becoming a mom has completely transformed me.
Yeah, we all have that. I think that's the common thing, and that's how I realized when I started this project, Carla, that we all have that two parts. When you are not a mom and when you become a mom, and then there's the second part starts. So welcome to the community that feels the same. So what's been your journey, Carla, till here? Before mom, after, like, we take the mom journey ahead in the second question, but what's your journey ahead? What do you do? How you've been here till now? And let's talk about that.
Well, before becoming a mom, I would just say I was just okay. I was just trucking along. Everything was fine. I just, worked hard and it was fine. But then when my child was born, I had this being, which I really do feel was like a complete gift from the heavens. And I felt this overwhelming responsibility to make sure that I raised my child with love and nurturing, but also to make sure that the world I just brought this child into will be a good world.
Right, right. And you have a podcast called Inspector Mom? Is
I
that
do.
Yeah, you do? What's all that?
Yeah. What's all that about? Well, so I decided right around the time my baby was almost 1 year old, I wanted to get out of debt. Me and my husband, we were just tired of it. You just keep making all these payments and your money just never accumulates. It just never grows. But because of my job, I used to be a health inspector. So I used to go into restaurants and check their food safety and put their sanitation score up on the wall. I couldn't just go get a job. I couldn't go deliver pizzas. I couldn't go do all these things. So I created Inspector Mama. That was my first business. And it was doing baby safety, what did I call them? Coaching sessions. So I used to also inspect the daycare. So I knew a lot about baby safety. And so that Inspector Mama helped me pay off my debt and quit my full-time job so that I could spend more time with my child.
Oh, lovely. So that continues now? The Inspector Mama continues as a podcast?
Yes. Yep. It's a podcast and I have cute little baby onesies and everything. So yeah, it's just so dear to my heart because that was at the same time my child was born, this was also born. So it's almost like my twin, or their twin. Yeah.
Yeah, and I must say that rarely happens, that when your child is born, your business is born at the same time. Usually, business are pushed, away or left when the child comes in your life. So that's very interesting that you say that both happened together and both are growing together since. So your daughter is 5 years old now, if I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Beautiful, beautiful. So, you know, when I was talking to you, what I loved and what I connected maximum with you was this whole concept of respecting a child, and how it's very important to respect the child in your life and treat it the way it should be treated, and not like because we're the parents, you listen to us. Or so let's talk about that, because I totally related to that part when we were talking about it, and how you came about it, and what's been your journey. Why do you think that child should, like personally and overall, with all this business, why do you feel that this is very important to have this kind of a relationship? And there are a lot of parenting experts who'll be very proud of you anyway here, because they keep saying that that's the way to go, and that's amazing.
Yeah. Well, when I was 23 and I first got my very first job, it was actually not in my field of study. It was teaching baby classes and childbirth education and that sort of thing. And so I learned about respectful parenting and what that meant. And of course, it sounded great on paper. Um, but then when my little, as I was carrying my child, I thought, of course, we treat children as if they're little adults and we expect them to just know better. Don't scream when you're tired, but they're not, they're children, right? And so we have to help them as their parents, as their guides, to know how to be like, you're tired. Okay, listen to your body. Are you hungry? Do you need a nap? Talk me through it. And so I decided that would be the way. Well, of course, I consulted my husband. I was like, what do you think about doing it this way? And of course, he was on board. And it can be quite radical, really. Like, what do you mean you ask your child their opinion? What do you mean you ask your child if you can change their diaper? But that sort of thing, it teaches them early on to have respect for themselves. And then now that my child is older, you really see it. Like, okay, so we have a puppy, right? Have I told you about this puppy? And she really scratched me this evening, and I screamed, and my child, she touched me and she said, "I heard you scream because you got hurt. Do you need to go take care of that?" And I was like, perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect. But yeah, oh my goodness, my dog's like 50 pounds and she really got me.
yeah,
But then I was like, you know what? I'm on the right track.
yeah, yeah. Because I just think that it's everybody knows this, that the children will imitate who you are. They know it. But still, we just keep getting into that circle that, and I think that circle is usually not coming from the fact that we are going to want to be disrespectful to them. I think it comes from the fact that we are very fearful. If we don't do this, what's going to happen? If we don't do this, if they turn out to be too late to revert, right? And we drive ahead with that fear. And I recently, my friends were here and having some conversations with them, and the fact is that their kid is absolute, like he's my child's best friend, and we've met after 3 years, and absolutely beautiful kid, Carla, and curious and intelligent, and I mean one of his kinds. But he does not like all kinds of people, right? And just because your teacher comes and tells you that you must make him a little street smart, I was just like, he's just 7, 8. He'll figure it out. He doesn't have to be street smart. He's not. He's a confident, curious, intelligent kid. But his personality is that, and my kid is like that as well. And sometimes when I get the outside pressure, you start feeling that, yeah, I mean, they're right. What if somebody takes advantage of them? But the fact is also that if there is a nice human being coming up who's not street smart, that's all right. Why do we have to send street smart, overly smart children outside so that they can deal with situations, and that fear that they will not be and somebody will take advantage of them is so strong that we all get confused, and that's where this whole way of wanting to discipline comes, right? And the fear is instilled in many layers. Like, uh, online doesn't work for my kid, and I'm letting you know because you're very passionate about it. So I'm just letting you know that online doesn't work for my kid. We're trying. India has not gone to school last 2 years, but it doesn't work for my child. He is a social kid who loves to hug, who loves to play. So online's not worked, and he slips onto YouTube or something or whatever. But online doesn't work for him, and I've realized that. But when I get a feedback from school, it says next year is going to get tougher. How is he going to cope up if it's going to get tougher? So I have to stand up and say, we will see it next year. This is already tough. They being
Hmm.
in pandemic and not going to school is already tough. And if he doesn't get structured, it's already tough. So I just think what you're saying is amazing because you have to keep standing up from that, out from that fear of the fact that everything is going to be okay for them. We are so
Yeah.
fearful that we keep operating from this some must like this behavior of trying to discipline. So I love that.
Yeah.
I love that part about you that yes, it's considered. I don't know whether it's radical is the word. Is it? Do you think it's radical? Do you feel it's
Yeah. I mean, I have been told many times to spank my child. Uh, to, yeah, like if you don't do this now, then she's, gonna get out of control. But you
yeah,
know what? I really feel like raising my child with dignity and respect is also teaching that if she is not treated with dignity and respect, that's a flag.
yeah,
you know that's not okay. If somebody, we always touch like, may I hug you, things like that. And no is a no. And there's different, we can go into all the different exact ways to do that, but it teaches them autonomy of their body. It teaches them that if someone makes them feel like disrespected or belittled, that is not a normal thing.
right.
And the same with spanking. We um, if you spank, then it says that it's okay for someone to hurt your body, because then you excuse it later. And then, at least in my area, we have lots of domestic violence and things like that. And so I want to be clear with at the beginning with my child, like, these things are not okay. So if these things happen to you, we need to talk about that now.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful because see that's what like all the journeys that have happened in these 84 interviews, and many mothers that I've been very passionate about meeting them. You go back to their childhood, and that's where the tweaking has happened. That's where these things have not worked out for them, and they carry it from there till very long time, sometimes till end of their lives. They
Mm-hmm.
carry and very recently, I was seeing a documentary by Joe Dispenza, and the interesting part of the brain is, and you will find it interesting, is that if there's a very strong incident in our life, and spanking is strong. I don't know why people think spanking is a normal thing. Spanking your kid is a strong thing, right? And that like in our mind, we keep exaggerating it every time we keep living it. So by the time we are like 30 years down the lane or 40 years down the lane, our mind has exaggerated and made that whole memory so vivid that we start operating from those fears in a much exaggerated way than the incident that happened. So that's the effect that happens when something very strong happens to a child, and then it keeps getting exaggerated. And by the time you're an adult, you just can't control it because uh, the whole exaggerated feelings come out. So that was an interesting part, and that's why I think you're right about the fact that people do find this radical thinking, and the fear is driving all of us a lot. And now even in pandemic, like in India, the fear is the schools are not opening, so our children will not get educated if they don't sit on online. But honestly, like I see the teachers struggling across the screen because they have like 35 students to put focus on who don't want to be. And then I see the child struggling because there's so much noise and there's so much happening which is not a normal thing. And then I see the parents struggling because the parent is on top of child head that concentrate, focus, do this. And then parents are sitting and taking the classes so that they can tell their children about it. So I just hope this pandemic ends and systems like this don't work. So there again, the respect part comes, right? It's a very difficult
Mm-hmm.
decision to say, till the time the school doesn't open, my child is not going to school. And whatever education we will give them, we will be able to give them with our own structure, which works for them. But that's tough. And very tough for working parents to do as well. So there's
Mm-hmm.
so many layers that come in. And that's where the child feels the violation and the struggle and the disrespect, I think. And that's what you're very passionate about. So I love that. I just love that about you, that you're very passionate about that. So where is your journey going ahead now from here?
Well, I keep saying that I'm only going to have one child, but it seems that I keep still giving life to other things, right? So I had my child, Inspector Mama, and then I started my food safety consulting business, and then I opened up another type of a spiritual supply shop, and now I am running for local office here to be a state representative. And there's definitely a part of me that's like, how am I going to do all of this
Right.
at the same time? And at the same time, it feels like I can't not do this because so much is dependent on our future. Here we don't have healthcare for everyone. We don't have childcare for working families. We have no assistance. We don't even have housing for everyone. There's we have a lot of people without homes, and I see these things in the world, and I gave birth to this human, and it is now my responsibility to make sure the world will be fit. And I don't just think about me and my family. I think about the next 10 generations on earth. So I definitely feel, but it's only because I became a mom, and then I was like, wow, we got to do this now. So I decided I'm going to run for state representative,
Yeah.
which is, I did not realize this was like major league. I was like, yeah, this is completely logical. And now I'm like, oh, it's big leagues. Oh my goodness. But
Yeah.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
You absolutely will be. And you have all the support slowly generating. I think everything connects, and now, things are going to fall in place. When I started this whole project, when I got up and I said 100 moms, 100 interviews, 100 days, and I had a little one still, and pandemic, and two kids, one online, offline. I changed cities, by the way. Like, I changed cities when I started this project. So I was in one city, already not settled with this whole online, in a 5, 6 month baby when pandemic hit. And I changed cities. And then I came here, and we ended up another house. So we were in cartons while I was taking this project. Everything was in boxes, and there were these little kids being raised. But I wanted to do it now because I wanted to do it now. That's it. And it was tough. And I started this project, and it's going to happen. It's just like yours is going to happen. What have you started? Because if the why is so amazing, and when your system says you do it now, then you do it now. And when that kind of a thing comes, there is no way you will not be able to do it. I think you will become an example of how to do it. You will be one of the people who, your daughter would be right next to you when you're going to be contesting this election, and she'll learn so much. She will learn so much because she will see so much, and she will see her own mom standing up for what she really wanted. And that's the learning. That's the beauty about moms standing up. And that's what I'm trying to show in this book, that when moms align themselves with the mother pulse, and then they align and they shine, there's no other thing to do but to shine. And your children will have that ripple effect. Versus when we go ahead with bad images, not living our dreams, our children ripple that, right? And so we just have to choose what ripples down through us, this or that. Going like ahead, if I ask you, what's your dream, Carla? What's like, because this book is called 100 Self Portrait, 100 Dreams. What's your dream? Um,
My dream is to make sure that this earth is around for the next 10 generations. The proverb says, when you plan for 7 generations, but I feel like I have to plan for 10 just to be sure, and then, but always raise your children to plan ahead for the next 7 to 10 generations. I just want it to be, obviously global warming is a big problem. I would love to see families supported. I would love to see more community again. I feel like we have been so divided, and it's absolutely terrifying. And that's not why I had a child. I didn't have a child to come into a world that is going in the wrong direction, or to be fighting with neighbors. That's not why I did that. And then when I had a child, it was very present that it was like, whoops, the world kind of took a turn there, and I have to, it's like when you slip on the ice when you're driving and you have to steer a certain way to get out of the spin. Well, that's kind of what it feels like I'm doing. So that's my dream, is I really want the world to be here and to be a good place for our children in the future.
Yeah, it's going to be because more and more are rising. And I always say, when anything rises from that mom pulse, that mother pulse, it has to work, because
Mm-hmm.
the creator pulse is the mother pulse. The pulse that's there for the creator is the mother pulse, and the mother pulse has to rise back into all these positions, so that things can be done in the way they should have been done. And
Yeah.
because your reason is like coming out of being a mom, I just feel this is Stacy is here as well. Hi Stacy, Dr. Zeta Williams is here, and Wilma is here watching us. And because we rise from that mother pulse, I think no matter what we do, whether we are a photographer, whether I'm heading this program, whether we're a coach, whether we stand for elections, no matter what we do, we are we are going to succeed. So I feel that your daughter's going to, even if that's like spinning right now, she's going to exactly lead you where you need to go, and that's going to be amazing for many many mothers ahead. And
Yeah.
this book is also that intention of the book is to give that inspiration to a mom, that of course you can shine, and of course you can go ahead. I
Yeah.
was talking to a mom. I'm planning to bring her. She was in the Air Force, and she said, I never wanted to have children, but the day I did have my son, there was no way I should be. Wherever I was posted, my son had to be there, even if they were not family posting. Hi, Francis. And you know what? I was just like, and that's where you'll find it very interesting, Carla, because you're very into children's rights and everything. Now here, there's a choice for an army, and that I'm going to bring her in because I love her story. And for an army officer, now the babies come. Now your posting is in a non-family posting area where the oxygen is very less. You have two choices, right? The two choices: take your child or leave the child back to the plane, right? And both the
Mm-hmm.
parents are in the army. And I was just imagining that situation, and that's why I love this book, because it's taking me to places to open me up from being a parent of a very narrow view to a parent who, the possibility of what kind of parenting can happen. And she said, when I was pregnant, I was not excited, but by the time my child came, we were inseparable. And then my posting was in Leh in Himalayas, and there was only one room that we were supposed to be in, because you can't build rooms. I've been to that area. It gets covered with snow for 7-8 months, and then it opens up for a few months, and it's difficult situation. Even to cross it, I think it was tough for my sister with me to cross that area, to be able to live with the Army Air Force there. It's a tough area. And then she took her child there. She's like, no, he will be with me. And they decided to take turns. Her husband and wife would take turns whenever possible. And when not possible, and both of them were on duty, they would like wrap him up. And he was 2.5, and put him with the other army officers. And then she told me, and this is the beauty, because you love kids. The beautiful part about that was Kara. She's like, my poor baby had to have the same thing every single day, rice, because you can't cook, you don't get vegetables for hundreds of kilometers. It's all mountain area, you know. So lentils, rice, potato, lentil, rice, potato, every single day for 2 years.
Wow.
And when I heard that, I was just like, and I'm thinking here, nutrition, this and that. But for a mother, that child was like right next to her. She could have left him back. So the choice was between the mental torture or the physical, which would be like with her, right? And she had wrapped him up and gone to patrolling and put him in the jeep while he's sleeping, you know, because she wanted
Yeah.
to be away from him.
Oh my goodness. I totally relate to that. Especially I when I returned to work and my child had at first my sister-in-law kept my child, and that was a big weight off of my shoulders because she was with family. But then when I had to put her in a childcare, um, I couldn't just call, so I would try to work my lunch break around where I could just like pop in real quick and see my child. And then when I was able to quit my job, I was a big baby wearer. I would still wear my child, but they're 5 now, so it's a little harder. But that's what I would do is I was on this very computer typing and building my websites and everything, right here nursing or sleeping, like right in this chair. This is with my child. I built all of that.
Yeah.
So,
And
and even yesterday I had to go to Raleigh, which is about a 2-hour drive, but on the way back we got stuck in traffic. It took us 3 hours to come back home, but right in the back seat, right in the back seat. Yeah.
yeah, and that's why this project is opening my eyes to so many things that um, we sometimes get stuck and just keep going round and round. And our fears that one, they can't grow, or we can't grow as parents, or we can't shine, or so much happens when you become a parent, and so much gets operated. And then you hear this story of an army officer mom, like an Air Force officer mom, who has to who took a choice to take her child with her, not leave it because if she would have left, she would have been torn, he would have been torn. But if
Mhm.
he was with her, she would figure it out. She would figure it out, and she would let go of, okay, doesn't matter if he's eating lentil. This all of us are eating that. He'll survive lentil and this thing and potatoes. So I was like looking at her and I'm like, wow. She's like, my patrolling happened with him wrapped up in the thing in the middle of the night. And that's middle of the night in extreme cold where it's really cold. I'm telling you, very low oxygen. And but of course they took the safety in consideration and did their 2 years of that and came back to the city. So that's how torn a mom can get. That's how torn.
Mhm.
And then she did leave Air Force because she got stuck with the political part of the army and she didn't like that. So it's amazing that she could take that extreme weather and take her child, but not take the political things happening and quit the Air Force and went into the corporate world. And then she did lose her husband after 10 months to cancer.
Mhm.
So it's an amazing story of this amazing mother. And she was also, why I'm saying that is that I'm just saying that see where the journey goes. She was one of the first women in that kind of a training in a batch of 12 women out of 24,000 women selected. So the president of this country had invited them and honored them to be the first 12 women to be taking that. So to taking that career, having that spotlight, having a child, taking them to that, I'm just what a mother can do. Just what a mother
Yes.
can do.
And
And
if employers realize that if they honor their employee upon becoming a parent or mother, if they honor that new person, they will actually get a better workforce. And even I know some people are like, what are you talking about? But yes, if you allow a parent to take the child to school, go to work, pick up the child, and then keep working, they will work until midnight because they can balance all of their responsibilities. And I always think that if employers invested in their workforce and their childcare, they would actually have a really great, strong team. Um, yeah, so it's very dear to my heart. I'm also on a board that works to connect parents with quality childcare because as we've learned in the pandemic, it is not that easy to homeschool a child. So we need folks that have studied that and know how to do that the right way. And I have found out that I am not my child's best tutor. So that's a dad responsibility. So we're a great team. So I'm great at cuddles and lunch, and then it's tutoring time with not me.
Yeah, tutoring time is not me as well. And we have a lot of here child experts who are like absolutely homeschooling experts here. We have Beata, we have Francis tuning in, we have Melanie. So welcome to the book, and you'll get to meet them because a lot of their perspectives will come as maybe in standing in your elections to get your the whole campaign going. Because Beata is a homeschooling expert. All of them have very interesting insight about parenting. So you'll get to meet a lot of parenting experts. We have Dr. Rosetta Williams here joining us. She's the CEO of schools in India, and she's also one of the moms. So all of them are moms in the book. And what I like about this book is that everybody will find their own kinds and they will connect to each other and figure it out. Because my dream is not just to bring these 100 moms out and just say, hey, I've done a book. One, these 100 moms are going to be found. Two, they're going to create self-portraits because they're going to express. That's the tough part, to create your own self-portraits. And once that's done, they have a whole also community of 100 moms across the world to stand up for each other. So that's my vision, that these 100 moms should come together and meet each other, help each other, figure it out, and you'll really find some of them very interesting here to join in. So I'm very excited, and I wish you all the very best with your vision. And I love your vision of standing in election that comes from a core of being a mom. That aligns with me, and I am telling you that when the mother pulse decides to stand for election or to do whatever, things will change.
There's no stopping when a mother decides enough is enough, or let me fix that for you. We do. It's just this DNA something that just goes. It says, and now.
Yes, and let me tell you this: Francis is here, Debbie is here as well, Stacey is here. All of them will agree that they've been taking the journey of listening to these interviews. That mother decision is the decision that I feel will change a lot of things in the world. So I love that you're not originating from the fact that I want to stand for elections for many other reasons that we discussed, but your main reason is, and the birds come, so they all are celebrating with you. But the main reason is your child, people's children, the healthcare system, the children, and I love that it started from being a mom. So that's why this book definitely is honored to have somebody like you as well, who is going to stand up for elections based out of that. And it's just in time. If I would have finished my 100 moms on 9th of November, we would have not found you. So that's why I'm like, everything is aligned. Some moms are still meant to come here, so it's going a little slow, but that's what it is. If it's going slow, there's some more moms who are meant to be. Like, I met that Air Force mom, so you are here, so it's beautiful to meet you. It's just absolutely beautiful, Carla, to meet you. And I wish you all the very best, and we all are there to support you. We will add you to the community, and we'll all support you in whatever way we can to move this forward. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. And I'm patiently waiting for the book because, like you said, everything happens in its time.
Oh, yes.
And and I wouldn't have been here if you had, kept to your schedule.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been here. And I'm telling you, I'm meeting some even more extraordinary moms. We might be getting a Buddhist mom in as well. So these categories of moms are all left behind, right? A Buddhist mom or an Air Force mom, and I'm going to get we're getting a mom who's into sports. So I just realized that the last 15 spots are left for, like the universe said, they're left for some moms you've not covered, the kinds of moms. Because the idea is that when this book reaches out to the world, every kind of shade should be able to relate to it and say, hey, I'm a sports person, I relate to her. Hey, I want to stand for elections, I can relate to Carla. I'm a photographer, I relate to Shikha. So there's going to be a variety, and we're going to just become one beautiful. So thank you for patiently waiting. I'm very patiently waiting. Sometimes, it just feels that it just needs to come together. I do have moments when I'm like, if I do, like, it's just like that mother, right? If I don't do it now, it's not going to happen. Like, you know how you feel for your children. That if it doesn't happen this way, it's not going to work out. So then you tell yourself, calm down. It takes time. They grow up, things grow, they nurture. So that's what's happening with Sorry, I get distracted by birds. They're my big distraction, whatever I'm doing. So I was looking out there. So welcome to this book, Carla, and lots of love to your election campaign. And I'm really hoping people like you stand up to power because we need it. We really
Yes.
need it.
Yes, we do. We need I'm really happy to see lots of moms stepping into this role, even if it doesn't seem like the right time.
Right. Yeah.
I encourage you all to do it. Yeah.
I like that even if you don't think it's the right time, yes. So Yamila is there. Yes, so exciting for this moment in time. She's introduced you to this beautiful project, and I'm absolutely thrilled to have you here. And we have all the wishes and support for you. So we will go off live. Thank you so much. And Stacy is here as well. And Yamila is there. The birds are celebrating this. Yeah, did you see that? I've never had that Yamila. Like none of the birds have come like this in a big flock like that and started making so much noise in my interview. And it happened for the first time. It happened for the first time when we were talking about you celebrating. So all these are beautiful signs that this is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll go off live, and thank you so much. And don't go away. I'm just going to go off like Facebook and connect with you.
Okay. Bye, everyone.